Continuation of the types of directors. Then come to the non-executive directors of the company. Non-executive director is a person who has a part-time director positions on the board, company board, and he or she is not involved in the day-to-day operations of the company. Independent directors and on non-executive directors of the company, because the independent directors, they are not in the full-time employment of the company, but they are acting as a director in the company boards and give their expert advice and opinion on very important crucial matters of the company, as expertise in the particular area of field, financial fields, or legal areas. Legal advisors are there, so they can act, sometimes they act as independent directors of the company and giving their expert advice and opinion on company decisions, transactions to be discussed at the company meetings. The term defines is that non-executive director is a person who has a part-time director position. That is, the position is part-time, not full-time, on the board, and he is not in the employment of the company, full-time employment of the company, as in the capacity of the directors of the company, but they are responsible. They are not responsible. They are not responsible for the day-to-day operations of the company. So, independent director is a non-executive director who does not have any pecuniary and financial relationship with the company, and he is not related with the promoters or management of the company. So, that person is called as the independent directors. Sometimes I already defined you. Sometimes we used non-executive director as independent directors of the company, because they are not related with the company. They don't have any financial stake in the company, financial interest in the company. They don't have any relationship with the other members of the company, like employees of the company, members of the company, founding members of the company. So they are not related with the members of the company or directors of the company, other directors of the company. So they are independent. So they give their independent advice, expert advice, professionalism advice in the company board. So that person not related with the promoters of the company, no any connection with the promoters of the company, no any connection with the wives and daughters and brothers and sisters of the promoters of the company. So they are not knowing each other, not personally also. So they are able to give unbiased judgment and decisions for the transactions to be discussed at the meetings of the company in the capacity of the independent directors in the company board, so that gives a fair representations of both dependent and independent directors. Then come to the women directors, and women directors I have already defined you the women representations in the company board as a director of the company. So, woman director is a term defines means woman is a director. Woman who is a director, that is the term defined. The woman is a part of the company management, company board, and give her representations in company board by speaking in the company board, taking participations in the company meetings, board meetings, uh, and doing discussions and deliberations in the meetings, and as a member of the board of the company, representing women uh, as a director of the company. So as per Companies Act 2013, introduction of this section as woman director. So the main objective behind the insertion of this clause of women directors in the company board is to allow participation of women in the company board to give their views, opinions, advice, expert advice also in the matters relating to the for the betterment, for the interest of the company. So this is about the women directors. At least one woman on the board of some categories of companies. Then come to the nominee directors. Nominee directors also are non-executive directors of the company. They are not in the full-time employment of the company. So they are part-time employment of the company. So they are appointed by nominee institutions, nominated institutions like banks, financial institutions, like small shareholder directors, or central government may appoint any person as his or her representative in the company board to represent their share in the company board as the nominee director of the company. So he or she is appointed by the central government or by any financial institutions or by any bank or by any specific class of shareholders by virtue of their shareholdings in the company up to the extent of their shares in the company. uh, you can appoint your nominee as your director, as your representative in the company board to represent your share in the company board and to speak on your behalf in the board meetings, discuss and deliberate on your behalf in your board meetings as a nominee director appointed, uh, can be appointed by the central government, by any financial institution, whether IDBI, IFCI, ICCI, can appoint their nominee as director in the company board, as nominee director of the company by virtue of their shareholdings in the company. So he or she must act in the interest of the company, in the interest of the institution who appointed him as his or her as his nominee director in the company board to represent their share in the company meetings, to say yes or no on any decisions in regard to passing or resolutions in the company board, whether ordinary by nature, special by nature. So any decisions to be transacted at the board meeting that he or she has a right to say. Then come to the term resident directors. Resident director means director who resided in India, have resident in India, and have lived in India for a period of, that is a term limit is defined, duration is defined in the Companies Act 2013 in respect of the resident directors to be appointed as resident director of a company means who resided in India and in the place of at the place of registered office of the company, head office of the company. So for not less than 182 days in the previous calendar year. So that person is called as resident directors in the company board, and at least each company board, each board to have at least one director must be resident director who have completed his or her 182 days in the previous calendar year. Then come to the term small shareholders director. Small shareholder director is an independent director and is elected by the small shareholders of the company. As per the Companies Act 2013, listed company are at liberty to appoint a small shareholder directors upon the request of thousands of small shareholders or one tenth of the total shareholders, whichever is lower. So they can appoint their representative in the company board, and the name specified is a small shareholders directors of the company as per the Companies Act 2013 insertion this clause. Small shareholder directors on the request of the small shareholders, at least minimum of 1,000 small shareholders to make a request to appoint their representative to speak for their right, to fight for their rights, to fight for their interest in the board meetings of the company, or one tenth of the total shareholders, whichever is lower. So that person is called as the small shareholders, directors of the company. Then come to the term alternate directors. An alternative director is a person who acts as director for a temporary period. Means after the appointment of the main director, and after the original director, the main director, resumes his place of office, then he or she has to immediately vacate the place of office after his or her joining to the place of office. So that is, your term is defined, already defined in your contract of service, that your appointment is only for a temporary period. After the joining of the main original director of the company, main director of the company, you have to immediately vacate your place of office to the immediate to that effect, when he or she resumes or joins the office. So you are appointing for a temporary period when his health condition is not good, he is not in a town and city, he is in abroad, a director is in abroad. So in that case, it is not possible for that person to attend board meetings of the company and any other meetings, important meetings of the company. In that case, company can appoint alternative directors to act as a director for a temporary period when director is absent for more than 3 months. So company can appoint in his or her place alternate directors to fill his or her positions till he joins the office of director. So automatically the alternate director has to immediately vacate the place of office when the director occupies the place of office. Then come to the term additional directors. Any director, when first appointed to a board, is an additional director when he or she hold his office till the conclusion of the next general meeting, when his or her appointment is approved by the shareholders, members. In that case, we can appoint as per the requirement of the company additional director, but your appointment is only up to the conclusion of the next general meeting, and it must be approved by the shareholders and by the members of the company, your appointment. So appointment of an additional director is not approved by the members, and if it is not approved, then you have to immediately, your appointment is comes to an end at the next annual general meeting. If the members of the company, they are not approving your reappointment, then you have to immediately vacate your place of office uh, in the next coming annual general meeting. So appointment is up to till the conclusion of next AGM, and if it is not approved, then you have to vacate your place of office to the immediate effect when the order is issued to vacate the place of office by the shareholders or members of the company. Meaning is that whether appointment of executive directors of the company, it must be passed in the annual general meetings of the company, because they are the shareholders of the company, they are the investors of the company, they have a right to know to whom they are appointed as directors of the company. That person should not be have any criminal records, past criminal records. That person must be no having civil liability or criminal liability imposed on him by the court of law. So he or she should know as a member of the company who is appointed as directors of the company, and they have a right to say no to his or her reappointment if you think it is fit and it is good for the interest of the company, not to appoint that person as additional director of the company for the next till the conclusion of the next general meetings of the company. So additional directors, when first appointed to a board, is an additional director, hold the office till the conclusion of next EGM, and his appointment must be approved by the shareholders or members of the company. Uh, so if the appointment of additional director is not approved by members, and it comes to an end, with the general meeting. Then come to the term types of directors. Interested directors is one who is in any way interested in contract or arrangement, uh, whether himself or through his relative, firm, body, corporate, or other association. That person is interested to be the part of the company management, is interested to be part of the board directors of the company, and you have to give your representations in writing that I'm interested to serve the company as director of the company. So you have to give your interest in writing to the company, notify to the company that I'm interested to join, interested to serve the company in the capacity directors of the company. So the interested director is one who is anyway interested in contractor arrangements with the company, with himself or through relatives or firm body corporate or other associations. So that person is called as interested directors of the company. Then come the shadow directors. So shadow directors, they are not coming in the picture, but they are channelizing the regulating the directors of the company by their personality, by their words of wisdom, by because of the other directors of the company give due regards to you, but you are not in now the director of the company, but directors of the company, they are following your guidelines, they are following your advice and directions. So you're acting as a shadow director. You're not director of the company, but directors of the company, they are following your instructions and guidance. So in that is perspective, you are the acting as a shadow director of the company. You work in a shadow, so no one see you, but we can see through the workings of the board that you are directing the board, you are channelizing the board, you are controlling the management of the company, not directly, but indirectly you controls the administration of the company by because of your personalities that you are not in a position of director, but you are holding that position uh, as a director of the company in the company meetings, because other directors of the company, the board of the company follows your directions and all, your advice and all. So you are acting as a shadow director, meaning that you work in a shadow. So but whose directions or instructions are followed by the directors of the company. Then coming to appointment of director. Appointment director is made in the following manner. There are certain conditions, procedures for the appointment of directors in the company. You have to follow as per the Companies Act 2013, the manner which is prescribed, mentioned in the Companies Act in respect of the appointment directors of the company. Appointment of first directors of the company, as it is appointed by the promoters of the company. Promoters are the persons who are the founder members of the company. So after the incorporation of the company, they are responsible for the appointment of the first directors of the company, and it must be laid on by the company articles association, or company articles must authorize you for the appointment of the first directors of the company as promoters of the company. This is your right. Given to you by the company articles to appoint the first directors of the company, and their names are usually given in the company articles, and where the articles do not provide for the appointment of directors, and the signatory to the memorandums who are individuals in case of one person company, and individual being a member shall be deemed to be the first directors of the company, subject to the regulations of the company articles as per section 152 subsection 1. It is nothing is mentioned. If nothing is mentioned in the articles of the company in respect of the appointment for directors, in that case, subscribers to memorandum means those who signed the memorandum of the company, that person deemed to be the first directors of the company as per the Companies Act section 152 subsection 1 of the Companies Act 2013. And there's a note in this. There's a note in this. One person company, because only one person act as a member of the company. One person initiates the process of incorporation of the company. One person conduct the meetings of the company. Convene the meetings, hold the meeting, conduct the meetings, prepare minutes of the meetings of the company. So in that case, in the case of one person company, one person being a member of the company shall deem to be the first directors of the company, subject to the articles association authorizing you to act as the first director of the company. There's a note in this. There's a note in this. In respect of OPC. OPC means one person companies start by one person. All the formalities in respect to incorporation, in respect to commencement is due, but commencement is not required, but incorporation is required in the case of one person company. So 1% company is a private company. So all the provisions as applicable to private company is applicable to 1% company. But this is initiated by one person, start by one person. One person act as a member of the company, one person act as a shareholder of the company. So being a one person in the company shall deem to be first director of the company, but articles authorizing you. It should be mentioned in the articles that the first directors of the company can be a person, can be one person. Then come to the appointment of directors by members of the company. So members of the company have a right for the appointment of directors of the company. They can appoint directors of the company and subsequent directors of the company. In the case of public company, directors are appointed by the members of the company in the general meetings of the company. So appointment of directors by members. The subsequent directors in the case of public company are appointed by the members of the company in the general meeting. As per section 152 provides that unless the articles means articles of association of the company provides for the retirement of all directors at every annual general meeting, at least two-third of the total number of directors of a public company shall be person who shall be subject to retirement by rotation. Two-third means out of three directors, two must be, means out of three, two directors must be retired by rotation and must be appointed by the company in general meetings. So remaining directors in the case of such company and in directors of a private company may be appointed in accordance with the provisions of the company articles, and in the absence of any such provisions in the articles or in the case of default in the appointment of directors, these directors shall also be appointed by the company in general meeting. Section 152 of the Companies Act in respect of the appointment of directors by the members of the company in relation to subsequent directors in the case of public company appointed by the members of the company in general meetings of the company. Your appointment is passed. Suppose your name is such and such. Your appointment is as dependent directors of the company is passed in the general meeting of the company, in the meetings of the members of the company, that is general meetings of the members of the company, and your name must be approved to act as the director of the company. Then you can act, otherwise you cannot act as director of the company. If your name is not approved, so it must be approved, it must be passed in the general meetings of the company. So remaining directors in the case of any such company and directors of a private company may be appointed in accordance with the provisions of the company's articles. The meaning is that the procedure in respect to appointment of directors, reappointment of directors, and their discontinuation of directors, removal of directors must be a part of the articles of association of the company, must be mentioned in the articles of association of the company, and in the absence of any such provisions in the articles, in the case of default in appointing directors in respect of the appointment of subsequent directors or directors by the members, directors shall also be appointed by the company in general meeting as per section 152. Meaning is that if members fails to appoint directors of the company, in that case directors shall be appointed by the company in general meeting. Then come to the appointment directors by the board. So board has a right to appoint directors of the company, and board directors may make the following appointments as per section 161 of the Companies Act 2013. Additional or co-opted directors, if authorized by the articles by BOD, may appoint any person other than a person who fails to get appointed as director in a general meeting or as additional director at any time, who shall hold office up to the date of the next AGM. So this is as per section 161 of the Companies Act. Directors can be appointed by the board. Means board may decide for the appointment of directors, whether additional directors of the company. But meaning is that it must be authorized. It must be authorized by the articles Then board directors may appoint any person other than person who fails to get appointed as director in general meeting as additional director at any time who shall hold office up to the date of the next AGM or the last date on which the AGM should have been held, whichever is earlier, section 161 subsection 1. Meaning is that if directors fails to appoint and if nothing is mentioned in the articles in respect of the appointment of directors, then additional directors who holds the office up to the date of next AGM till the conclusion of the next annual general meeting, whichever is earlier, whichever comes earlier, that should be accepted. So this is in respect to the appointment of directors by the board, section 161 subsection 1 of the Companies Act in respect of the appointment of the directors of the company by the company board. This line is very clearly specified if authorized by the articles. Board directors may appoint any person other than a person who fails to get appointed as director in general meeting as an additional directors and at any time who shall hold office up to the date of the next AGM or the last date on which the annual general meetings should have been held or whichever is come early. So I hope this line is clear to all of you in respect of the appointment of directors by the board, company board. Then casual vacancy. If any casual vacancy arises in the office of the director of the company due to on account of death, on account of resignations or otherwise may be filled up by the board of directors unless the articles provide different procedure for the purpose of appointment of the directors if any casual vacancies arises because of on this ground. Number one ground is on account of death. In case of death of a director, the place is vacant, the office of director is vacant. So in that case, we can appoint a casual director or a casual vacancy arises in the office of director. So we can appoint directors to fill that place of office which is vacant because of the on account of the death of a director. In case director resigned from his services as director of the company due to his or her resignation as director of the company, casual vacancy arises in the office of the director of the company or otherwise. So in that case, BOD, board of directors, unless the articles provide different procedures for the appointment of directors, if any casual vacancy arises in the office of the director, in that case, the person appointed shall hold office only up to the time his predecessor would have continued. Section 161, subsection 4. Then come to the term alternate directors. The board of directors may also authorized by the article association or by resolution passed by the company in the general meeting appoint alternate director. So alternate directors, if authorized by the A of the company or if it is authorized by the resolution passed by the company in the general meetings, can appoint alternate directors to act as director of the company during the absence of the original director or main director of the company for a period of not less than 3 months from the date in which the meetings of the company, meetings of the boards are regularly, ordinarily held by the company. So that person act because as director of the company because the original director is absent from the duty for a period of not less than 3 months from the state in which the meetings of the board is ordinarily, generally held. So such director will vacate office immediately on the return of the original director to the state. So you have to immediately vacate your place of office when the original director resumes the office of the director of the company. So such an alternate director automatically vacate office on the expiry of the term of the original director, even if the latter has not returned. Section 161, subsection 2. Then come to the term appointment of directors by the tribunal. So tribunal means National Company Law Tribunal, or you can say National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. When an application is made to the tribunal under section 241 for relief against oppression and mismanagement of a company affairs, the tribunal, if satisfied for the appointment of such number of persons as director, who may be required to report to the tribunal on such matter as the tribunal may direct. So the appointment of directors by the tribunal as per section 241 of the Companies Act. The tribunal may order if the court, if any application filed by the members of the company in respect of the operation and mismanagement of the company appears, the tribunal may order the company for the appointment directors of the company to see if any this type of things happen inside mismanagement inside the company, ill practices inside the company. So tribunal may order for the appointment of the directors of the company as required to be report to the tribunal on such matters as the tribunal direct to that person to act as the director of the company, to report to the tribunal to that effect as per section 241. Then section 152 subsection 6 is in respect of the retirement of directors and is applicable on public companies, which means private companies are out of the ambit of the retirement by rotation. This clause is applicable to public company. It states that unless it is provided by the articles of the company, 2/3 directors are liable to retire by rotation and 1/3 are liable to retire at every general meetings after the meeting at which the first directors are appointed. So as the line specify that if provided by the articles of the company, 2/3 directors are liable to retire by rotation. Means out of 3 directors, 2 must be retired by rotation, and 1/3 are liable to retire at every general meetings after the meeting at which first directors are appointed. So any fraction in 2/3 will be rounded off to the next number as rounding to the nearest number, which sometimes result in contravention of 2/3 value. So any fraction is 1/3 will be rounded off to the nearest number. So this is as per the retirement of directors as per section 152 subsection 6 of the Companies Act 2013. So retiring directors can be reappointed by shareholders by casting votes in favor of in excess of votes cast against the resolution. So retiring directors can be reappointed. You can reappoint retiring directors by casting votes in favor of excess of votes against the resolution. Then there is in respect of the independent directors and nominee directors are excluded from the calculation of the 2/3 ratio. Small shareholder directors will always be a non-rotation direction, and he will be counted in 2/3 but cannot be retired by rotation. So 1/3 directors which are liable to retire at AGM will be decided by FIFO method, and the one who is longest in the office will be retired first. If 2 or more directors are appointed on same day, then it will be decided by a draw of lot.